Okay, super random. I'm sitting in my bathtub, actually kneeling in my bathtub. I've already got the camera set up and I was like, oh man, I need to tell them about the products I'm using while I wash my hair first, because next step is right here under my bathtub to get my hair washed. So I am going to use a clarifying shampoo. If you have not used one, I highly recommend using it probably once every 2 weeks, depending on how often you wash your hair. Sometimes when your hair seems to frizz and doesn't make curl clumps, you have too much product buildup, and so you need to clean it out, which I can tell today my hair is just in need for a good wash, and it's been a while since I have clarified. So I'm going to use this. It's by Kristin S, and it's just a great clarifying shampoo. I've had this for a very long time because it just lasts quite a while. So I'm going to use this first. And then I am going to use the shampoo by LUS. This is just a sulfate-free, great shampoo meant for curly hair, wavy hair, all types. That actually says right there, all curl types. So I'm going to use that after I clarify. And then I am going to go in with a deep conditioner today. So if you haven't deep conditioned, this is another thing that's great to do I probably deep condition every 3 washes. If you, once again, notice like your hair's frizzy, it doesn't clump well, then this could be your answer. And so I'm going to deep condition. I like this one. This is also by LUS. I like it because you only need to leave it on for 5 to 15 minutes and you don't have to have heat to activate it. A lot of conditioners encourage you to put like a warm towel over your head and try to keep your hair warm. This is not needed. You actually rinse it with cool water. So I'm going to use this. I'm probably going to leave it on for 5 minutes, but wanted to kind of tell you about all 3 of these products before I just go right into it. So, all right, here we go. All right, as you can tell, my hair definitely needs a good wash up, but it's been probably 5 days since I've washed it. So first thing I'm going to do is definitely saturate your hair with water. I would typically do this in the shower, but just so you guys can see what I'm doing it here. Going in with the clarifying shampoo that I told you about. And I found with this one I needed a little bit more water. So I'm just adding more, and then also I needed more shampoo just to get it more sudsy, just because I feel like that really cleans. And you'll find with this shampoo that you also get kind of the squeaky clean feeling too when you're done washing with it. All that lovely hair on the side of the tub. It's gonna accumulate. All right, I'm going in with a LUS shampoo here, giving it a good wash. It suds up super easily because I've already clarified, and I'm just rinsing with kind of lukewarm water, not super cold, as I will with the conditioner. All right, as my hair still is dripping and kind of wet, I'm gonna add in the leave-in conditioner, and there's about how much I use. Sometimes people say avoid your roots, but when I'm deep conditioning, I like to cover all of my hair. So go from roots to ends, and then I just like to brush it through just to make sure it's all distributed evenly in there, and it actually just takes away, tangles and adds the curl clumps. And here I am squishing to condition, and this is just going to allow the conditioner to go more deeply into the hair shaft. And I brushed a little bit there just because I felt like it was kind of getting tangled. Okay, I left the conditioner in for 10 minutes, and now I am just rinsing it out with cool water. I want to try to get all of the conditioner out, just so your hair doesn't get greasy. So give it a good rinse, and then here you're just going to squeeze out the excess moisture. Make sure you leave some in for styling, but yep, just go ahead and squeeze most of it out. Okay, so I've rinsed out the conditioner, and while some people like to style their hair upside down, I don't. I just feel like my curls look funny, they don't lay correctly, and so since I rinsed my hair upside down, I'm gonna go ahead and brush my hair back down like it normally would be, if I were to get out of the shower. You can style upside down if you prefer. I don't know if it's just the way my hair grows or what, but I just feel like mine is better when I style with it down. So I'm just gonna brush this through. And my hair is still very wet. It's pretty much dripping wet. So I'll probably squeeze a little bit out before I go in with my first product, which is going to be curl cream. Okay, so I'm gonna squeeze a little bit out. And you can hear the sound, the squishing sound. So it's very important to have enough water in your hair where you hear the squishing sound. That way your curls will stay in clumps. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna use is, this is Defining Curl Cream. It's called Not Your Mother's Curl Talk. You don't need a ton, but you want enough to where it's gonna cover your strands. Since I have relatively thick hair, I'm gonna go ahead and run this through, and I'm probably gonna use double of what I showed you in my palm. And then I'm just raking this in. And my hands are obviously wet. See all the water? It's just, you wanna make sure, like I said, that you have enough water in your hair. And I am losing hair like crazy, but that is totally normal. Don't be scared of that. Your hair grows in cycles. And so you have to, I mean, you obviously are gonna lose hair and more is gonna grow back in. So don't be worried about that, especially if it's been several days between washes. You're gonna have more hair that you lose. Just gonna do this side. I don't wanna forget up here in the front where my bangs are. And then if you have fine hair, just do a little bit of curl cream. You don't want to use a ton because it can tend to weigh your hair down, but it does give good curl definition and clumping. So I wouldn't skip out on it. I'd just use it, just use a smaller amount. More hair lost. And I know that was gross in the tub, all that hair, but I was like, I'm leaving it there so people can see like how much I actually lose, because I lose a lot. Okay, so curl cream is in, and now I'm gonna go in with a gel. You wanna use a stronghold gel if you want good curl clumps to stay. So this is Flexible Firm Hold Curl Talk, same brand, Not Your Mother's. So since this is a medium hold gel, I'm gonna use two different gels. So I'm gonna start with this one, get it worked through, and then I'm gonna go in with a stronger hold. That way I have better curl clumps. So that's about how much I have. I will rake this through. Okay, I reach for this one a lot. I really like it. It's Uncle Funky's Daughter Curly Magic Curl Stimulator. So it's gonna hold curl as well as stimulate the curl. And it also says it's great for the kinky type, which is type 4, the curly type, which is type 3, and wavy, which is type 2, which is what I have. So great for all types of those. It's also gonna nourish your hair, strengthen, promote growth. It's made with aloe vera, horsetail, and nettle. So it doesn't smell like your normal gel. It actually has kind of a different texture like this, but I really like it for defining my curls. So I'm gonna rake this in, make sure I get underneath. And don't forget the back of your hair as well too. It's easy to forget to get the back. Okay, so the biggest secret for me, I think, with curl clumps is making sure your hair is wet while styling. All right, now the next thing for curl clumps is brush styling. Like I said, you can achieve curl clumps without brush styling. I just feel like, I don't know if it's the texture of my hair or what, but I just feel like I get the best distribution of the product as well as the best clumps when I do this. And I always brush kind of up and out like this. That way my hair isn't being brushed down and glued to my head. And if you want to know how to style the front of your hair, I have a full video on that. It's very helpful in how to get the front of your hair to lay correctly to where you can still like move it around and it's not just stuck in one spot. Because I used to find that my hair would just feel like I had no part but one part and I couldn't move it because my hair just wasn't like, I don't know, I always say it was glued to my head, just felt glued and stuck. So if you want to know how to style the front of your hair in a more detailed video, I have that and I will link it below. Okay, so another way you're going to be able to tell if you have curl clumps is while you're styling, you shouldn't see any stray hairs. So see how those are all clumped together? That's what you want. And now that I have my hair brushed through, make sure there's all the clumps, and you can kind of shake it like this too to achieve that clump. Now that I feel like it's pretty much brushed through, I don't have any stray strands, then I'm gonna go in and, like these, maybe you could brush through a little bit more. I'm gonna go in and scrunch, okay? So, just gonna gently go up, and you can hear the scrunch sound. This is gonna enhance your curl pattern, as well as give you those defined clumps. Show you close up. See how I don't have any frizz sticking out, like any individual frizz pieces? There are times that I don't want my hair like super curly and I want just more of a wave, so I'll kind of just squeeze like this instead of up, and that gives me more of a wave instead of curls. That's the fun thing, is you can go from like curly to wavy if you want, just based on how you style. And I have videos on that too, how to go from like a curl to a wave, how to style to achieve that look. So I will link that video below too, in case you want to check it out. So as you can see, these are all separate curl clumps. They're looking great. And so I'm now going to, just because I want to make sure it holds, I'm going to add in a little bit more of my Uncle Funky's. I'm going to warm it up in my hands. And I'm going to kind of just glaze it over my hair, just to make sure I don't have any flyaways that are going to be sticking up. My hair is nice and detangled. Okay, now I am just going to squeeze out the excess moisture. If I don't, my hair will take days to dry. So I'm gonna go in with a microfiber towel. You can also use a cotton t-shirt. Just make sure it's 100% cotton because polyester will induce frizz. So I'm just going to gently use my microfiber towel and squeeze out the excess moisture. Just squeeze and then gently let it back down. And you can kind of pulse squeeze too, but you just don't want to disrupt that curl pattern or the clumps that you've made. Now that I've got the majority of the excess moisture out, you can still see those beautiful curl clumps, how there's no frizz. Even up above, there's no frizz. It's looking good. So I'm gonna let it air dry for a little bit and then I'll be right back. Always make sure you use a great heat protectant. This is by Eva NYC. It's called Mane and Magic. All right, now I'm diffusing, and I'm gonna diffuse on high heat and high speed. This is called hovering, and so I'm not actually like touching the diffuser to my hair, but I'm just hovering around to try to get the roots of my hair dry first. I find that drying my roots, or at least getting the majority of them dry, helps before I start pixie diffusing and drying the ends of my hair. So this is just me hovering until my hair is probably 75% dry on my roots. This is called pixie diffusing. I use medium heat and medium air, like speed. And I feel like this really helps with my curl clumps as well. As long as you're doing it gently, as you can tell, I'm not like rushing through it. I am just gently pushing the hair blow dryer into my hair. But this helps create the curl clumps and keep them intact, as well as just create more definition to my hair. Always make sure you diffuse side to side and just gently move your hair to the other side and just diffuse at all angles. All right, my hair is almost dry, and the way to tell if your hair is dry, especially with gel in it, is just put your fingers through your hair and kind of squeeze. And if it feels dry, then you know, and you haven't disrupted your curl pattern that way either. Mine is probably 90% dry, so I'm gonna let it air dry the rest of the way, and then I'm gonna show you what I do last to finish my styling process. Right now it's crunchy, but once it dries, I'm gonna show you what to do next. All right, now that my hair is dry, I'll let you see all my curl clumps. They are looking good. I mean, you can see this one here in particular. There's like no frizz associated with it. Okay, so I could just leave the house like this. I know some people like to have the crunchiness to their hair just because it gives a little bit more definition. And really it looks pretty like this, but it's totally your preference. I prefer kind of this softer look, and so I'm going to use oil. This is just jojoba oil. This is great for your skin, for your hair, all kinds of things, but you don't need a lot. I just did 2 little pumps. I'm gonna emulsify it in my hands, kind of warm it up, and then I'm gonna use the praying hands method and just kind of push my hands together and slide it down, just like this. I'm doing on this side. This I find kind of keeps those curl clumps together and just still gives you the definition without like scrunching. And then I always like to go like this with my hair, just kind of, ooh, watch out for your rings. It's best to do this without any rings on too, just so they don't get caught in your hair. Okay, and then if I wanted to scrunch out a little bit more, I can. I kind of like to squeeze it like this to get rid of that crunchiness. And now my hair is softer. And I'll let you see closely again. They're defined curls. Still have all the curl clumps. Here's the back. It looks really good. Comment below and let me know what you like to do to your hair to enhance the curls. Do you use a comb? Do you use a brush? Do you like to rake your hands through your hair? Let me know what works best for you. But I hope this video helped and just gave you practical tips on what to do to achieve just beautiful curl clumps. So you guys have a great day, and thanks so much for watching.